Hello there, and happy Thursday. I am so thrilled to be here. I'm Michelle O'Neill, and you are on Unlearning Stress Break Time Live. So I am thrilled that you're here today. If this is your first time here, go ahead and give me a hashtag newbie. And if you've been here before, hey, give me a hashtag, you choose, been here, whatever. But I'm glad that you're here today. And let me know that you are, if you are watching this on replay, let me know, hashtag replay. So again, I'm Michelle O'Neill, and I got a question for you. Do you know why you're starting to look older? I have the answer for that today. So, do you ever feel like you've aged maybe 5 years and it's only been 6 months, and you're wondering, you look in the mirror and you wonder, oh my gosh, why do I look like that? Why do I look so haggard or so tired, right? And it's nothing to do with your birthday. And it's not even knowing that your birthday may be coming up soon. That doesn't matter at all. So it has nothing to do with your birthday. What it is, and the reason I'm talking about this is because, um, you know how you walk past the mirror and you're like, well, I've caught my reflection recently, right? And noticed that it wasn't that I looked older. I mean, let's get real. Me older? No, it wasn't that I looked older. It really was that I wasn't smiling. And if you notice, I'm pretty much a happy countenance and everything, and smiling now because I know how important it is. But it was that lack of lightness. Do you know when you're not smiling, we already know that the lines are more pronounced, unless they're happy lines, right? Or, and it's not your age that's really showing up. It's that wear and tear. That emotional wear is what's dragging you down. It's how you feeling, because how you feel is usually showing on your face. Even if you think you have that poker face or that stone face or whatever, trust me, somewhere on your face, it is showing through in your eyes and the lines on your face. And as we get older, your face kind of sags a little. And so the less you smile, the more the face and the skin and everything kind of drops, right? Just like everything else in your body, face drops as well. So let me check. Okay, so and let me know where you're from and who you are if you're watching. I really love to give you a shout out and just share that you're here. But you know what I said is, this showed up for me personally, and not just that is physically, but that is emotional as well. And so I want to tell you why it matters. And not it's not just a situation, or not being in just a situation, but it's the weight of everything that you're probably going through, that I'm going through, and how you desire for your life to be, and how you desire you to show up for others. And there are the people in our lives, more than likely, at least for me, I love them dearly, and I want to give them the world. If I had $1 million, I'd make sure they all had what they needed. Well, I need more than a million, but I would make sure that I was able to give them whatever it is that they needed. And that's how we feel about those that we love. And even in a work situation, don't you wish the best for your coworkers? You don't wish, wrong things. Don't you wish the best for your companies and whatever you do? I would hope so. So the thing is, this shows up in your dreams, in your relationships, and in your dreams. It's like the things that you want for yourself, the things that you desire, how you want your life to look, what are the things that you want to accomplish. All these things are in your mind, and when they don't go right, or when you don't see that pattern happen, it starts to drag on you a little bit. And the same thing with your relationships. We have expectations. Even when you first meet someone, you have expectations of how that you talk to them. You say, oh, I really like this person. And you start thinking about how this relationship could develop, what could come of it, how you two just clicked. And I'm talking girlfriends as well as spouses or mates or something like that. We always want the BFF, and all that. So we're always looking at our relationships like this. We're always looking at our dreams like this, what we want, and the tension that we have of loving the people we love, of caring about others, and then also our dreams. There's a tension. There's a tension between what you want and what others want or need from you, right? And that draws on you. That sometimes it wears on you, especially when it's someone that is dear for you, dear to you, and you want to give them the world. I mean, it's like our kids. If they asked us for something, we would move heaven and earth to try to get it to them. Whatever it is, they want this. Okay, what do I have to do? Do I have to work more? Do I have to do a couple of more hours or whatever to make sure that I could get that for them? Because by the way, their grades are good, they're doing good, they're really accomplishing much. Let me reward that for them, right? And that's how we feel about those that we love. And so when we're doing that, when we want to give so much, when we want to love so much, but we want to also give and love ourselves as well, there's this tension here. And I'm not talking about a to-do list or things like this. I'm talking about that tension of your desire to give, to pour into, and your desire for the things you want. And that's not selfish. I'm not talking about pure selfishness. And so what's really going on is a type of fatigue, and it's not physical aging. This is emotional aging. That's what we're talking about today. And it's what it looks like is it's holding everyone's expectations, right? Is constantly adjusting to make sure others get what they need and what they want at the expense of sometimes the things that you really want or you really need. Is wanting everyone to be okay, feel love, feel all the things. It's amazing how what we do is we give people what we want. We give people how we want to be loved and taken care of, and what we expect. And I just want to say on a side note, everybody doesn't want what you want. So sometimes we're giving them things that they don't even require or want because it's just who we are and how we think they should want. So the first thing I would want to say is, why don't you ask? But that took me off course, so I'm gonna go back. So the thing is, we're constantly adjusting and we're wanting everyone to be okay. And we're forgetting about ourselves in the process. And it's not that you're tired. I want you to hear me here. Is that you're full, you're over full, and it's leaking throughout every cell in your body. It's kind of like having a leaky gut, if you know anything about that. And so, hey, Val, thanks for being here. I love that. Yes, that one really stood out to me, that everybody doesn't want what we want. And that's a hard concept to really get, but let me go ahead and do this. See, I'm trying to do this and talk to you at the same time, but I'm still here with you. So the thing is, how can we reframe this? How can we change this? How can we change the lens that we're looking through? And it's not about balance, first of all. I tell you, I don't believe in balance. I believe that balance is a fallacy. I use that word because that's how we look at life and that's what we think we desire. But balance is a ebb and a flow. And in many ways, I would even say it's like a teeter-totter. And you're like, what do you mean? Balance, life isn't like this. No way, no how. Life goes like this. You have your highs and you have your lows. And sometimes there's a sharp contrast, like a teeter-totter. Sometimes we give more here and get less here. And sometimes we get less, more here and get less there. And so it's about a rhythm. It's about a symmetry. Remember when you were in the park, when you were a kid and you were on the teeter-totter, right? And it was like, how did you use your weight to create a rhythm where you're kind of got a good ride with them and you had a great time, right? And so, look, I want you to understand that you're not fragile. What it is you're just overdue for joy. Notice I didn't say happiness. Happiness is a feeling. Joy is a way of being. So the thing is, and our deeper struggle is that we keep showing up, but without letting anything pour back into us, without letting that love that we give, without letting that care that we give. We're so busy giving and doing that we're not receiving. And one of the things I like to tell my clients is we're always giving because that's who we are. But we also have to learn how to receive. How many times does someone say thank you to you and you say, oh, it's nothing? Instead of saying, I'm glad I was able to help, or thank you. How many times has someone wanted to do something for us and we say, no, we don't need it. I let them. Or someone wants to give you a small token of appreciation with money or something. And you're like, no, I don't need it. Thank you. No, you don't have to pay me. It's not that they have to pay you. That's their way of showing appreciation, and you're taking that away from them. So let others pour back into you, because if you don't, that's the real aging that we're dealing with. So ask yourself, because I can't go today without a practice. So ask yourself, where do I feel the drag? Don't look in the mirror. But ask yourself, where do I feel the drag? Not just tired. I'm not talking about tired. I'm not talking about lack of sleep. That's not what we're talking about here. What I'm talking about is that heaviness, that stretch, being pulled in all directions, too thin. You know what I'm talking about? That thing that keeps you from smiling. That thing that keeps you from feeling that lightness and that joy. That's what I'm talking about. And so what I want you to do, or what I would like you to do, and what I encourage you to do, is choose one space today or this week, the rest of this week, that you let joy lead. Do something spontaneous. Do something just because of the joy that it brings you. Hey, if it's going to Dairy Queen and getting yourself a ice cream cone dipped in chocolate, if that brings you joy, do it. You deserve it. Whatever. If that's just going up to someone and giving them a hug and say, just hold on to me, do it. They'll understand. Look, what would it look like if you lift yourself? We can't always depend on others to lift us up. What would it look like if you lift yourself even a little bit, even slightly this week? Now forget this week, today. What would it look like? You tell me. Look, I've been sitting with something lately. This is what brings me joy. The way that joy has a tendency to take a back seat to everyone else's peace, everyone else's presence, and how that quiet that we want, that we seek, that we desire, that sense of peace is constantly overridden. by the desires and the expectations of others. And it's not them always that's demanding that, but it's what we demand of ourselves. And it doesn't show up as burnout. So you feel that it's normal. It shows up as wear and tear. And there's a thing about this saying wear and tear is that, when your car with your clothes, there's a normal wear and tear. And so you just feel that that's the process that it goes through. Our bodies ache. That's the process. We're getting older. The lines are showing in our face. That's the process. We're getting older. But tell me, have you ever seen someone who's 30 years old and looks 50? It's not physically, it's emotionally. Because the things that they're dealing with, life that they're dealing with is dragging them down. So, like I said, is this wear and tear showing up on your face, in your body, in your spark? Where is your joy? And most women that I work with, they're not falling apart. Not at all. They want their life. They want something different. They're just stretched too thin. Managing, performing, giving, loving, pouring into everyone else's life, but forgetting to pour and love into their own. And that's why I'm guiding a few women through something that I call the emotional reset experience, because it is truly an experience. It's not a program and it's not content. I'm not about that. It's a private, it's one-on-one 5-day space to interrupt just one emotional pattern so you can see what that looks like. The one that you've been holding on, that you've been too strong for everyone else and for yourself to actually recognize it or even name it out loud. And I don't talk about this a lot because I understand my bandwidth as well, and because it's not for everyone. But if something in this episode today pulled at you, because I don't want to leave anyone out. And if you saw yourself in this conversation that we had today, all I want you to do is to DM me the word reset. Reset. And what I'll do is I'll let you know if it's the right fit. I want you to know what it feels like to interrupt a pattern, to name it, to identify it, and to interrupt it. And so I hope today, somewhere in here, something spoke to you. And that this craving to bring joy in your life, to design your life the way you see it. Look, I am so thrilled that you've been here with me today. And again, I'm Michelle O'Neill on Unlearning Stress Break Time. So until next time, I'm smiling. Take care. Bye-bye.